Hi and welcome to another episode of Toby's Barbecue Corner. Today we're making pulled pork mac and cheese pies. Now what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And this is what we need for our pulled pork mac and cheese pies. Now, obviously we need a pork neck, and I think it's absolutely sufficient to do one pork neck for this dish, but if I already turned on my Kamado, I might as well smoke some more. So we're smoking 2 pork necks, and these are lovely Duroc pork necks, and just look at the marbling on these. I think they look absolutely fantastic. Now what else do we need? We need a rub, we need your barbecue sauce, we need some macaroni, and I like to use the small ones, the gobetti ones, so the smaller you go, the better it is. You need 2 small onions, you can use shallots as well. You need a little bit of butter, flour, some milk, some grated cheese, and we're still gonna grate that, as well as some puff pastry. Now meat pies in various shapes and forms have obviously had a tradition in various countries. So for example, Australia is very big on meat pies, and this is an adaptation of, pulled pork from the US, mac and cheese from the US, so how nice can that be in a puff pastry? So we're going to give that a try today. Now, obviously you can use pulled pork, so a pork neck, a pork shoulder. You can use brisket, you can use any other kind of beef or meat that you want to put in there. I've heard of people use fish. I haven't done that yet, so well, maybe I'll give that a try at a later point in time. But today we're sticking with pulled pork. As you've seen in my previous videos, what you want to do in the first step is, go over the meat. Make sure that you don't find any cartilage or any kind of bone remnants that are still on there, but this one feels really good, so just make sure you give it a good feel, and obviously you have a sharp knife ready just in case you need to cut anything off. And then what you want to use is some sort of binding agent. Now you can use mustard, and I've said that in my previous videos as well, or any kind of oil. Now these days oil seems to be in short supply, and I'm not only talking about the one that we use for fuel for the cars. So mustard it is, but you don't actually have to go anywhere crazy with the mustard, so it won't add to the flavor, so you don't have to use Dijon or any of that stuff. Just make sure that it's nicely coated everywhere a little bit, and then you take your favorite rub and give it a hefty dose, make sure everything is nicely covered. I'm going to finish this up also with the second one, and then we're going to put it on the Kamado. The Kamado has come up to temperature. We're looking for 120 degrees in the Kamado, and we're going to smoke the pulled pork until it has an internal temperature of 92 degrees. We're smoking with applewood chunks today. 18 hours later, the pulled pork is done, so let's take care of the mac and cheese. So what you want to do is you want to bring some water to a boil, add some salt to it, and then you're going to add the gobetti or the macaronis into it. And you cook them for about 8 minutes, and you stir occasionally, and we're going to take care of the onions. So I've chopped them already. So all we need to do is we're going to take some butter, let that melt, and then we're going to give the onions a bit of a sear and create the nice sauce that we want for our macaronis. The onions have gotten some good color, so we're going to add in the milk, and make sure you add in the milk in small increments, as well as the flour in small increments, and you just cook that for a little while longer. Make sure you stir it frequently so you don't get any of these lumps or little pockets of flour. We're gonna add in salt as well as pepper. And one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, and I do apologize for that, was we also need a little bit of nutmeg. So make sure you have some nutmeg handy, but I'll put it in the description for you. And that will just add a lot to the flavor. So make sure you stir it, watch out for your macaronis, and then I'll see you in a second after I've drained the macaronis. About 10 minutes later at low heat, the sauce looks like this. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add half of the grated cheese to the sauce, give it a good stir, and then we're going to put all of that good stuff on top of the macaroni that I've drained in the meantime, as I've said. I'm going to give that a good stir as well. Make sure everything is nicely coated. Once everything is nicely coated, you're going to add the remainder of the cheese on the top. And you can really go quite liberal about it because that will create a lovely texture on the top. And then you're just going to add a few pieces of butter to the top. And then it goes in the oven at about 200 degrees. The mac and cheese are in the oven for a total of about half an hour. So we're going to take care of the puff pastry. Now what you want to do is you want to form little cakes basically, or little pies. So I have two different size diameter glasses or mugs. It depends on what you want to use. So all you basically do is you press it down and you create those little molds that you will then use later on in your pie maker. Just be careful, I hope I don't tear it. And then obviously this is an example, so however many pies you want to make, whatever size you want to make, that is really entirely up to you. Once you've carved up the dough, what you want to do is with the base part of the pie, you want to give it a little cut from the center outward, so when you fold it into your pie maker, it really fits nicely into it. Time to pull the pulled pork, and check this out how easily that goes through. That is super delicious. I mean, Duroc just works every single time. The intramuscular fat is really awesome. The bark has come out nicely, and I haven't used the Texas crutch, so I didn't use any aluminum foil during the cooking process. And it just rested for about an hour and 15 minutes in the oven at low temperature, something like 30-40 degrees. You know, it didn't really need much anyways, but look at this. I mean, this is just absolutely delicious. I mean, I can't wait to stuff our little pies with it. And obviously the rest will go in the freezer individually packed, and let's see what other nice things we'll make out of this. But look at this, like the second one pulls apart equally nice. It has a nice smoke ring. That has really worked out well. I think the apple wood is doing its trick. So let's tear this up properly so we can actually stuff it in our pies, and then I'll show you how to do the pies. Pulled pork is ready, mac and cheese is ready, the dough is ready, the pie maker is heating up. So let's get cracking. The pie maker is nice and hot, so make sure you give that a little bit of a coating with a non-stick thing, so like oil, butter, you know, anything like that, because obviously you don't want to tear your pies apart. And then we're going to take the bottom, fold it in a little bit, put it inside, just like that. Take a little bit of pulled pork, put that in there. Take a little bit of that mac and cheese, stuff it in there as well. Cover it up, and then we're going to cook it until it's nicely golden brown. So I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to show you the end result. Alright guys, and there you have it, our pulled pork mac and cheese pies, and don't they look lovely? And now I'm going to take one, give it a center cut, and let's see how they look like from the inside. Alright guys, doesn't that look lovely? Now what you can do is you can take a little bit of your favorite barbecue sauce, just put that right on top. Now I didn't do that initially simply because I didn't want the puff pastry to get too soggy, but we're gonna do this just like that. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the pulled pork mac and cheese pie. Now they were super delicious. We kept some left over obviously for a picnic that we're gonna do later on. And well, in all technicality it's like 3 recipes in one. So you get to do pulled pork, you do a mac and cheese, and then you stuff it in a pie. So that's just, I personally find absolutely amazing. Now, it just shows you also how versatile pulled pork can be used, you know, for quesadillas, for pies, etc, etc. Now, if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up. And please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come. And I hope to see you soon again at Toby's Barbecue Corner.